Welcome to For the Record. This is episode 4. Yeah. Let's, um, let us introduce the Faculty of Engineering rep at the Wimona campus, Mr. Neil Anderson.
Blessings.
Uh, right. Now, welcome to the podcast. Um, tell the people about yourself. Who is Nat Anderson?
Who is Ned Anderson? Well, in short, Ned Anderson is a very determined man, determined to achieve his goals, and what his goals are essentially to make an impact on a positive impact on this world in whatever shape or form, however small, however big. But that is Ned Anderson. Full stop. Nothing else. The river will, the river will deliver.
Hello,
Yo, the river will deliver. General. Alright, so pretty much there. I want to talk about like the issues young people face, especially these times, right? Because there's a lot going on in the world right now, and I don't know if you know hear what happened in Nigeria, because they have like some protests or police brutality or something. I don't know if you want to hear. So a whole lot of things are going for young people, right? So like like you being like the rep. Enough people in our faculty they supposed to even come to you and especially people are come to me and tell me their problems and stuff. But like when you hear what other people are saying, so like more to hear for similar things people are said to you. When I hear me?
Yeah, man. So, some of the things you'll hear definitely for sure to start. You'll hear students say that, listen, I've been in a class or classes for a week, and I have no Wi-Fi. I have my laptop has started to fail. All sorts of things are, basically Murphy's law taking place right now with everything online. So
everything that
internet's
will
going
go
down.
wrong goes wrong.
Mm,
Because and then you even have students that are in regions where they're stealing wires. So of no fault of their own and no control of their own, they are without internet access.
Facts.
So you have it varying, and then beyond that, you have some people that because of the whole idea that a lot of people have lost their jobs or have been put on a little labor because
mm,
of the pandemic. You realize that a lot of people are not able to pay their school fee. So you have a lot of people saying, "Boy, I don't think I can continue with the semester," and among other things. So financial difficulties, you have difficulty with devices, you have difficulty with connectivity, and then there's a group of students that we don't always talk about or as much as we should. We have the counseling unit to help them, but you know that there are students that possibly come from abusive homes and so on, where it's not the easiest to really operate in those households. And
mm,
right now they're face to face with the challenge of the abusers as well as with online school, which is
yeah.
itself challenging.
Well, we can only imagine because um this is somebody text the other day say like they in the home and they like we can't see why it was stressful for a lot of people. And I just say you have online school. I just say people have online class too. And the fact say you're at home, I have things that you have to take care of. Because some people have their personal business or they have family issues they have to deal with. That, just like where you say people are come from abusive homes. So not unnecessarily abuse sometimes. So as we said, sometimes you might have a sick parent or grandparent.
Right. And all those stressors just there all at once.
Mm-hmm. And you have to try to take care of them and I sort out everything and something. And why you really rough right now. Me even think about like not necessarily university students, but even imagine you're in a kindergarten and you come now if you say you had the school online. Like in a kindergarten, you just want to run up and play and play with the
You
people.
know that's the thing are gone.
Them say they can't go and I'm gonna say, yo, that rough brother, cause like you feel like it's a rob people of their life and certain aspects where we used to have, you know?
Yeah, man. And you know, always you talk about the kindergarten students.
Mm,
You have to think about the difficulty from the perspective of the educators themselves. That they themselves are not necessarily as well trained with technology, and a lot of them are, let's say, on the older side, and it's a bit more difficult for them to learn at this point, and
yeah,
they're having to struggle with that process as well. So it's sometimes a mutual struggle, and of course that doesn't turn out very well when it all adds up.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And
But
one thing, there's also a group of students that they're not as recognized is that the disabled population.
oh
Because
yeah, yeah.
yeah, cause since we dey like scroll through WhatsApp and I saw a status where this girl was in a blackboard class and she was deaf
Mm,
and she was asking if someone could basically like um, type the important parts of what the lecturer was like saying
mm,
and stuff. And I think it was like a language-based course or some over humanities. And like really, I look on it and I say like, um, we know so most of these restrictions came due to the whole Corona thing, but we weren't really prepared to undertake um, this much like these measures. And from from when I say it tremendously affect like the learning process and everything on both sides, from the students to the educators. Rough.
mm. You see, in a first world country like America and them places, it's easy to say, all right, what we do online learning, cause most people have stable Wi-Fi, most people have devices and stuff. But when you come in a place like Jamaica now where you live down in a way, a one standpipe there in the community,
What's
everybody
that
use one
pipe?
everybody use one standpipe and a lot of that is, cause, no, because it's a reality for some people, you know. As
And
funny as it
that's
might sound and
Mario, let me tell you something though. Yeah, you see, you see, up by my maternal grandmother's place, they you have to be at a certain spot at the house, like a very specific spot. You have to put on the phone there so in order to make a phone call.
outside
You have that, like if it shift by a millimeter, the phone
it
call cut.
gone.
cut.
And there are many students that they themselves are living in these regions,
Yeah,
and who had to go tell them say yo. So, and some of them we tell them say all right, we're going to zero rate the sites and all those things, but some of them just don't have the connectivity any at all.
they didn't even have the connectivity. If you say they will use the zero rated site. Yo, I mean, I say, as funny as it may sound, it's just a sad reality. And it's such sad reality. As some of these students, me I tell you, such sad reality. What they have mentioned too is, well, this now work till next week, Wednesday, but today is World Mental Health Day. So, like, all these things, I will just affect people mental health, especially young people who, as you know, energetic now and we're supposed to be out and about and do all these things and we're unable to. So, like, how, give your personal experience or like, if you know anybody experience where they must say, yo, feel like me about my dog. Like, you know anybody or you wanna feel like that?
Well, to be honest, it's been a lot. I know that I have one student, and she constantly contacts me, and it's like she's going through a lot right now because for one she's a regional student, so it's like when all of this happened, she had to cope with the idea of how me I go travel to Jamaica, trying to sort out all of that, and in between that, she had a death in her family in that exact period, and having to stress as to how am I going to do school and all that right now, and it's begun to compound itself because she's not feeling that well, and then she has a lot of issues on her side in terms of connectivity, and it's the pressure is just building up. And to be honest, I, I have days still where I'm just say, oh, I can't go school today because I just not have it. You know, me there are days where it's hard to get out of bed. To be totally honest, it's like I say, yo, you can't do this, you can't do this today, and every day is like every day you miss to it's like it just compounds itself, and it's like you feel like you're in a worse position than you started and so on. It's really hard to find the motivation for us get the start and start back, but just a try press on, you know. And me just want to say though that there is help available because them have like a counseling thing. You can actually contact them. We can share the details of that when we are talking about you and so on. And yeah, some other local services that them offer here about the place. So I definitely encourage people to say, oh, access those, especially you counseling unit. I know before struggling with the whole idea online school, I know that I would have went there because I was having issues studying. Apparently, I have ADHD, and they gave great advice and them really make me feel better about the whole idea of tackling school and so on. So, I know you have some good people there. So, if you can get in touch with them, if you can get in touch with them, would I encourage anybody who hear this right now to just get in touch with them?
Yeah. Definitely good services available there. Tarek, what you say? Yeah, you feel like you go mad sometime, like you just yo, come on, Tarek. You
Well, as a person that deals with depressive moments and anxiety, right? Um, like personally, there are times when especially social lecture them
mm,
like things aren't relayed um to my liking, right, in terms of information and them thing there. So like sometimes like me not understand because I learn a specific way, and that's really on me personally. So like separate and aside from downloading slides and extra information and
mm,
basically like trying to catch up. Sometimes the anxiety just rush come back and me I said, Judge, I like me depend on the course how long, like we spend like 5-6 hours, like we spend the whole day, night, so come on me have like one bag of stuff like extracurricular, like stuff or like I have like personal stuff to attend to, and
yeah,
like when I spend so much time on like one course or two course and like nothing nah stick, like coupled with like the corona thing and such because I was in a community that was quarantined,
mm,
and like with all the things that are going on in life, like sometimes it's really heavy,
mm,
and like if most people aren't trained to deal with like situations like this, because I know every day like like we're under a pandemic, I know every day like people under quarantine and such, and that's why like these things are not exactly normal in our present day society. So
yeah,
like personally for me at times it's kind of overwhelming,
mm,
but because I practice like various like holistic methods of like calming down and all them things that like meditation and such, and sorting out my thoughts and taking walks, and all these things, despite the whole runner,
yeah,
that kind of help. But I'm aware that you have like people with serious like mental issues that may have been abused in the past, and all these things are
yeah,
people that are still being abused, that are like forced to be in that environment. And
mm,
like one thing, even when we did up on campus, we still not go certain class because they have some days and not just the day.
yeah.
Like
Sometimes I just like yo, me can't bother today. Can't
some
bother.
days and not just the day. I have some like spillover work from other courses and such, and it's just not that day.
Mm-hmm.
No, so if we were on campus and basically that are go on, and no, some people depending upon where you live are confined to them house, or them afraid of the Rona,
Mm.
like solitude, if you're not really up for it, can be maddening,
Mm.
right? It can seriously affect you. And that's why like you have some people that talk about the next epidemic is like a wave of depression due to corona and all these things. And since today quote unquote World Mental Health Day, like people really greatly underestimate like the power of the mind and how the mind shapes reality and all these things, and people tend to neglect mental health.
Mm.
But this year specifically, because of the corona and everything that has been going on, like it really shine a light on how much people should protect their mental health and how important it is.